Fan art, original characters, fan fiction. What do all of these have in common? They're all from nerds wanting to take matters into their own hands, crafting what they picture to be the perfect aspect of their particular fandom. My particular fandom is one that is not often seen, and that is amusement parks. I have visited amusement parks all over the United States. Been to and love Cedar Point, Valley Fair, Silver Dollar City, Cliffs. That reminds me of that scene from Home Alone 2 where he's listing all the guys that lady has slept with. He's like, Boney, Bob, Cliff?
Don't give me that. You've been riding with everybody. Disney, Universal, Cedar Point, that one amusement park in Mall of America, SeaWorld, Six Flags, Cliffs.
No. It's a lie. I could go on forever, baby.
However, there is a pinnacle, what many consider to be the creme de la creme, the tippy top. There is no going further, the happiest place on earth. Here in the States, we have Disneyland and Disney World. I've been to both, but there are others, even outside of the States. You have Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland. When it comes to rides and best thrills, my personal pick, you can go no better than Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Absolutely the best. However, if you're like me and Megamind, if you are a nerd for presentation, look no further than the Disney parks. Every aspect of it seems to just immerse you into wherever you're at. And there are some competitors that do that very well, like Universal Studios. However, there is a Disney IP that could rival the new Nintendo World, and I can think of no property more deserving than Kingdom Hearts. So, come along with me as I present my fanfiction roller coaster tycoon attempt at a Kingdom Hearts amusement park. Now, first and foremost, I think we need to figure out the location of this place. Where in the world could this possibly fit? Now, I know I'm particularly partial to the United States. It would be really nice to have a Kingdom Hearts park either in California or Florida, but I don't think that's the best spot for it. I think the best spot for a Kingdom Hearts amusement park, to the shock and surprise of no one, is Tokyo Disneyland. I mean, that's where Kingdom Hearts originated, and I think it fits very well. You know, if you have an anime Disney game, why not be in Japan? You already got Tokyo Disney Sea, Tokyo Disneyland, just add that on. Now that we've got the physical location of this amusement park out of the way, let's move on to where in the Kingdom Hearts universe would this park be set in? When the Disney Imagineers were building Star Wars Land, they had to decide where in the Star Wars universe are they going to put this section of the park. Is it going to be on Hoth, Tatooine, Coruscant, Naboo? In the end, they ended up deciding, well, all of these places are so popular, they're so iconic, there's really no way to choose. They made their own planet, but two, it's made of rock spires, and it just fits into the Star Wars universe. It's its own thing. However, I feel like Kingdom Hearts doesn't necessarily need that. There are a couple of iconic locations. You could go Disney movies, but Disney movies are pretty much the entire park. We're looking for something distinctly Kingdom Hearts. So then we have to switch to original worlds in the game. You have Hollow Bastion, Twilight Town, The World That Never Was, Keyblade Graveyard, Daybreak Town, Traverse Town. But how do we narrow down where to go? I would say probably not a boss area. That doesn't really fit with a jovial amusement park. Keyblade Graveyard, End of the World, The World That Never Was, all of those are out. I think the best setting for different rides, different stores, is a city, somewhere where people live. Now, you could make an argument for Hollow Bastion, since there are castles there, and looking at a steam type area in Tokyo Disneyland would be very cool. If there's all these pipes and moving elevators and different things, that would be a cool location to have. But my money is on Twilight Town being the most iconic. You could go Traverse Town, but I feel like Twilight Town is far more the fan favorite of the original towns to go to. I mean, I feel like the Days nerds would crucify me if I didn't pick Twilight Town as the location for this area. And I think you could have it to where instead of the castle, you have the clock tower. Basically, you have this section of the park, the tram common, leading all the way up to the station heights. That path, that big open area leading up to that path, all the way up to the actual clock tower. Disney always likes to have an icon to their lands. I mean, you have basically Magic Kingdom, which has the castles. You have Tokyo Disney Sea that has the volcano. Epcot has the orb. Animal Kingdom, Tree of Life. Traverse Town doesn't really have an icon. You could go with Hollow Bastion Castle, but I think a more iconic Kingdom Hearts feeling is the clock tower, and that could be your central, your weenie, as Walt Disney puts it, central peak thing. Now, deciding a physical location in Kingdom Hearts world, that's minor league. Anybody can do that. But I'm not done. We are setting out to make one of the best amusement park experiences. And so we are going to go through every minute detail about how this section of the park will work. Let's go with music. What is going to be the music in this amusement park? Disney has its own music playing throughout the parks. They have basically a vibe that they're exuding. They have smells, they have music. They want you to be completely immersed in the location that you're at. Kingdom Hearts has amazing soundtracks. But what songs specifically do we pick to go into this amusement park? Now, Disney likes to have calm, warm, welcoming music in their parks, and I feel like Disney has plenty of those with their themes for their pub worlds. You have Before the Daylight, Daybreak Town's theme, Traverse Town's theme, Lazy Afternoons, and Not Afternoon Streets. That goes in the trash where it belongs. We are a Lazy Afternoons household, and if you're going to live under my roof, you're going to live by my rules. If you're going for more upbeat picks that aren't as mellow, I would say Strong Contenders are Working Together and Dearly Beloved from Melody of Memory. I feel like those would fit really well into the theme, a really happy, joyful soundtrack. And my own biased personal pick that kind of goes with a mix of upbeat and calm, Happy Hair Day. Absolutely one of my favorite Disney soundtrack songs. I know we're not going to Kingdom of Corona, but it fits. One of the most important things about amusement parks is the food. Come on! You have people who go to state fairs and amusement parks just for the food alone. You have staples such as elephant ears or funnel cakes or popcorn. Just amusement parks have that sort of vibe when it comes to food, and Disney is one of the best. There's entire blogs dedicated to just Disney food, and Twilight Town would be no different. However, we have source material to directly draw this food from. The food that is in Kingdom Hearts not only looks delicious, but would be perfect in these amusement parks. Look at the ice cream alone. You have so much ice cream in Kingdom Hearts, and I think one of the best examples is Birth by Sleep. Part of the fun was unlocking all of those ice creams, finding the secret ingredients and being able to make them. I didn't ever use them, but I loved collecting them and I loved buying them. Some of those ice creams can be very easily accomplished in real life. First ice cream I know would be a shoo-in would be Vanilla Glitz. That one's just vanilla ice cream with perhaps little chocolate gems. However, the other ones are a little bit more complicated. They would require some artistic ability, but I think they can be easily accomplished. you have ice creams that fit the main 5 Disney characters. So you have Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy. For Mickey, you have the Double Crunch. Minnie, she has the Royal Berry. The one I'm gunning for the most that might be a little hard to make, but I think it could be done, is Donald Fizz. However, the other 2 might be a lot more difficult to make, but maybe if they're in a cup or something, you might be able to make it look like it's from the game. Who knows? If they're able to do it, I wouldn't be surprised, but if they don't, I mean, it's understandable. That's the Goofy Parfait and Daisy Sorbet. It would complete the circle, but I'm not holding out hope for those. And I think that's every ice cream flavor. Oh, how could I forget? Pau-Pau Fruit. Pau-Pau Fruit ice cream has already been done in the Kingdom Hearts cafes. Sounds absolutely delicious and is a must. Fine, I'll stop yanking your guys' chain. Of course, this amusement park is gonna have sea salt ice cream. If I'm doing it in Twilight Town, it should be a given that I'm putting in sea salt ice cream. Treats are all well and good, but now we need some actual dining options. You can definitely put in Scrooge's Bistro from Kingdom Hearts 3 easily. You can put in some of Remy's dishes in that restaurant and it would be like a fine dining option at Disney. It's not unheard of. They've done those types of things before. Now those foods I mentioned, most of them are pretty much a must. I mean, they would fit thematically and it's like, oh, the thing in the game, I can eat it from real life. It's a whole experience in and of itself. And I'm sure Disney could definitely add their own food and make it really good. And they've done it for pretty much all of their parks. It doesn't always have to fit a theme, but it's still delicious. There are other treats at Disney besides food though. I mean, I know people go there for just food, but a lot of the criticisms that people have with Disney is pretty much, oh, it's just a mall. You can buy all these souvenirs and that's pretty much all it is. It's just go to get really overpriced Disney merchandise and that's it. And that's what we should have in Twilight Town. I mean, there's plenty of Kingdom Hearts merch that I would love to get my hands on. There's not a ton out there and there's not a ton of good ones. I mean, you can get some actual stained glass things that you can put on your wall, like legit stained glass. They have a glass shop in Magic Kingdom easily that does all of these things, so why not get some Kingdom Hearts stained glass circles that I can put on my wall? I just want one on my wall. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, come on. I want a legitimate glass circle. That's it. Have maybe a glass wayfinder for a keychain. I mean, that would be pretty easy, I think, for Disney to accomplish. Obviously, plushies. Oh, and Keyblades. Maybe we have a Keyblade shop where you can buy specific ones from the actual game, or maybe a lightsaber, build your own lightsaber-esque Keyblade shop where you just build your own Keyblades. I'm sure people would clamor over an officially licensed Keyblade besides the Proplica, any Keyblade. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and they had a demo in Disney Springs. Now, most people went there for just to try out the game for the first time. But they had something else there that was equally amazing. They had life-size Keyblades. They had 2 or 3 there. But the one I remember was the Favorite Deputy. And it was in a huge display case and it was massive and it looked like really hard, nice plastic. And all I could think was, I want that. Why aren't they selling that? I want to buy that. That looks so cool. But no, why would they? One other merchandise you can have in the stores is definitely a Chain of Memories cards, or cards that look like the Chain of Memory cards that turn into a card game, like you have the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards, something like that. Besides all of that merchandise, I'm sure Disney can come up with a bunch of other amazing things that you could buy. Some pins, some cups, some plates, t-shirts, typical Disney merchandise, but instead Kingdom Hearts themed. Now, being an amusement park nerd, as well as a Disney amusement park nerd, there is one thing that I can appreciate that most other amusement parks don't actually do, and that's experiences. Disney does experiences far better than most amusement parks. Disney has bands and performances come out, or you have those big shows like lights, camera action, or the stunt show. You have Fantasmic, and other amusement parks do those types of shows as well. But Disney has different experiences that are kind of hidden that you have to know about. They have the hidden Mickeys. They have the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, where there's different portals around. You can interact with different things around the amusement park, like in Toontown, or other places that you don't always immediately know is going to do something. Think of the Sword in the Stone, or look up like any of the Disney secrets that are no longer secrets. There is one amusement park that's been doing it and everyone's been losing their mind over, and that's the Super Mario World, where you have wristbands and you can interact in the game. Disney, Tetsuya Nomura, I think people love the Mario World. Maybe they would love a Kingdom Hearts World. You have a property right there that you can easily put into your park. Well, whatever. What do I know? Twilight Town would be no different. Perhaps you can find postcards like you did in Traverse Town, but you do little objectives throughout the land, and then you collect those postcards. And if you turn them in, you get a special prize and merchandise from the park. Kind of like the 3 challenges that Super Mario World has. You can find lucky emblems. I mean, Disney parks already have hidden Mickeys, but if you do a little scavenger hunt for those specific lucky emblems, you get a prize for that. Or you can follow different clues. You have to search for the keyhole, and if you find it, something amazing or something great happens. Another experience people can have is the Twilight Town tram. Disney parks already have trams in them. You have them in Magic Kingdoms, you have one in Hollywood Studios, California Adventure, have one themed around the Twilight Town tram that you can actually ride. Perhaps you can have a cooking academy with Remy. No egg breaking, I promise. And maybe you get hats that you can put on, and Remy's in the hat. Okay, great. We've discussed the physical location, the universe location, music, experiences, food, merchandise. All of those things make a great amusement park. But it's not an amusement park fully without rides. First and foremost, I think a VR playground would be perfect for this, where you have a first-person experience of walking through the different Disney worlds and fighting with a Keyblade with VR headsets. I really don't think that that's too crazy or too much to ask. VR is constantly improving. It's leagues ahead to what we ever thought possible, like probably years ago. And we have places all around America called VR sandboxes, where you have the VR headset and controllers, but you're actually able to walk around and move in an enclosed space. Plus, Disney is always pushing the envelope with their rides. They develop new ride systems. They figure out some sort of way to make an idea just work. And they already have like an augmented reality room or VR room that you can kind of see in the Imagineering story, where they kind of just look to see how a ride or an amusement park would look in first person. There are other experiences and rides that are kind of hard to pick and decide what's the most iconic thing from Kingdom Hearts, and if it's iconic, can we implement that into a ride? Most of the iconic things of the game are combat, and I don't think we can put the combat into an actual ride unless we're talking about the VR. The other thing I could think of was like an Astro Blasters, Toy Story Mania-esque ride, but Sora rarely ever shoots from his Keyblade, and I don't think that's the main thing that you're going for. Maybe have a ride based off of the Battle of Hollow Bastion. Like maybe the ride takes you through that experience of going through and fighting each of these Heartless, but then seeing the Square Enix characters and then having a big finale with the Battle of 1,000 Heartless. I don't know what ride system would work with that. I don't think that a Haunted Mansion one-track system would fit the vibe, but it would kind of have that idea. Maybe something akin to Rise of the Resistance, where it's a fast-moving track where you just go through this experience. There's one thing an amusement park needs, it's roller coasters. When deciding what would work well, what would be iconic for a ride, what would fit thematically, the only clear choice for a Kingdom Hearts roller coaster is Rise of the Union. This is what the ride will be called. Plus, we would have the soundtrack Rise of the Union playing while we experience this. How this roller coaster would work would be that it's a standing roller coaster where the platform underneath your feet is a different keyblade. And perhaps people are facing side by side down the train. Maybe each individual person has their own individual keyblade look. But basically, you're going to be surfing on these keyblades alongside Sora, where maybe he'll pop up throughout the ride. Maybe at one point you fly into the giant shadow tornado and get to the orb. You're working together with Sora to take down the giant shadow tornado. I know a lot of people love that part in the game because it adds that experience of being put in the game yourself. The whole Rise of the Union part of the game was made by people participating in the app. And by doing so, their name was added into the game and it felt like they were fighting alongside Sora. How much more so would we experience that feeling by riding those keyblades alongside Sora?
What is this?
It's just so perfect. It's like living a dream. I mean, who doesn't want to surf on a keyblade? Who knows if my headcanon will actually ever happen. I don't know if Tetsuya Nomura or Disney would go for it. I feel like Disney, if they get big enough dollar signs in their eyes, they would definitely go for it. We already have Kingdom Hearts characters in Disney parks, but looking at how hard it was to get Sora into Smash from Tetsuya Nomura, I don't know if he would be okay with making a Twilight Town in Tokyo Disneyland. But I feel like I'm not alone when I definitely want this to actually be a thing. However, it may look totally different than what I've proposed here. It may be totally better, it may be worse, who knows? But tell me what you guys think. What would you want to add to a Kingdom Hearts amusement park? What would you want to take away? Did you think any of my ideas were good or bad? And, you know, maybe we can start a petition to actually get Twilight Town into Tokyo Disneyland or some Disney park. But thank you for watching. Go ahead and check out some of my other stuff. I have a ton of Kingdom Hearts ideas in this channel. I have 2 world ideas. I have a mini game idea. And I have plenty of summon ideas on the shorts aspect of it. If you like my Kingdom Hearts ideas, check them out.